Hey everyone, today what we're going to do is we are going to look at our first body paragraph for a Walk to Moons theme essay. You've already completed your introduction paragraph, so now we're moving on to the first body paragraph. When you're writing a body paragraph, you're going to follow the same general paragraph outline that you've done since day one in middle school. You're going to start off this paragraph with a claim. You're going to have a supporting detail that has a transition word. You're going to provide text evidence. You're then going to explain that text evidence, and then you're going to provide a conclusion. Basically, a body paragraph is just like any standard paragraph that you've normally written. When we look at the graphic organizer that we filled out at the beginning of this experience, we want you to go down to where the red arrow is on this screen. This is what you already did your thesis statement. You chose your themes that you're going to choose from. The majority of people did choose "Don't judge a person until you've walked in their shoes." And this first body paragraph is outlined in this bullet that the red arrow is pointing to. You're supposed to explain how one of the themes applies to Sal. So your first body paragraph is going to be looking at the theme and how it applies to Sal. Okay? Now you're going to be seeing examples from All Summer in a Day, which is a story you guys read earlier in the year. So we're going to show you how to write a claim, a supporting detail, text evidence, and everything using that story as an example. Okay? So the first thing we want you to do is think about how you can transform this here, okay? Explain how one of the themes applies to Sal and turn that into a topic sentence or your claim. Okay? So if we look at the example from All Summer Today, you'll look at the green sentence. It says the theme, "Don't judge a person until you've walked a mile in their shoes," applies to Will and the children because they are judgmental of Margot. Okay, so we took that statement of how does that theme apply to the story, and we transformed that into a topic sentence. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick one of the transition words, okay, and you want to write your supporting detail for this. And your supporting detail is a detail that supports what your claim or your topic sentence is actually stating. So if you're saying that this theme applies to Sal, you need to tell me how. One way this theme applies to Sal is blah, 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 okay? If we look at the example from All Summer Today, we start off with the transition word "to begin," and again, we're looking at the yellow sentences here. To begin, Will and the other children exclude Margot and are cruel to her because she is different. Okay, so we're looking at the theme, "Don't judge a person," and then we're looking at how this applied to Will and the other children, okay? The next stage that we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at text evidence. You need a quote from the book itself that supports whatever your supporting detail is saying, okay? You'll notice that it says tagline here. Tagline is just a fancy way of saying, in the text it states, a quote to support this is, the text highlights, okay? So you're going to choose something from there. These are your pink sentences, all right? You'll see right here I have the pink highlighted already. And it says, in the story on lines 78 through 85, the narration says, and then it goes on and it provides text evidence that's verbatim from the text. That means that it's copied word for word from the text, okay? And it should support the idea in your yellow sentence. So right here we have it that Will is cruel to, you'll notice that they are very clear in terms of this text evidence backs away that they exclude Margot and are cruel to her. Once you are done with providing your text evidence, you're going to want to explain now how your detail supports the claim. Okay, you're going to start off with this shows, this highlights, this confirms, all right? The big thing here is when you're explaining, you have to go beyond just explaining what the text is. We don't want you to just say, all right, in the text it states, Will was mean to Margot. This proves that he didn't like her. That's not enough. Your explanations need to be multiple sentences. And if you look at this slide here, you're going to notice that these blue sentences are extremely long, okay? They're not just one sentence and then move on. And you'll also notice if you read it that these blue sentences, these explanations, do not just simply state that, oh, he shoved her, they did not go near her. They really go into the idea that Margot did not want to play with the other children because she was missing home. She wanted to see the sun. It isolated her from the other kids. Once you're done with this piece, you're going to follow the same process again. You're going to add another transition word, and you're going to say another way the theme applies to Sal. Okay? So you're going to think about how else does this theme apply to Sal. You're then going to provide text evidence that backs that up, and you're going to explain it further. Okay? The example here is highlighted in the second yellow, the second red, and the second blue section. Okay? It's this section here. Okay? And you're going to notice that this completes that full body paragraph. Okay? So we have the transition word furthermore, and they say they continue to judge her, and then they say, for example, in the text. What I want you to notice is right here, this furthermore is different from to begin. This, for example, is different from this tagline that says in the story on lines. And then this right here, it says this shows. This is different than this one up here that says this confirms. Okay, you don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again because we want you to vary your sentences. And again, your explanations need to have some sort of inference. What's going on? Who's doing what? Why are they doing it? How? All right, those are the things you want to be responding to. And last but not least, your body paragraph needs to have a conclusion. Okay, you're concluding and summarizing basically what you just talked about in body paragraph 1. So if I think about explaining how that theme applies to Sal, you're going to want to summarize what you said. So you're going to choose a starter word that goes with conclusion words, and then you're going to summarize what you talked about. Okay, so I've got my starter word here. As a result of not initially walking a mile in her shoes, they mistreat her. Okay, and it alters their perception of Margot. All right, so you'll see that this conclusion summarizes what was talked about. When you're finished with this process, you're going to have your final product. And it should look very similar to this screen. All right, you're going to have multiple sentences. It's not just going to be 7 sentences. This is a full essay. And we want you to fully explain and elaborate and find appropriate text evidence to back up what you're trying to say. If you have any questions, you can always refer to this video or you can ask one of the teachers in the room. Please pay attention to all the transition words and starters that we have. We are going to be looking for those as well. You're going to notice that there are tier 2 words in here. We've got malicious. We've got the word perception. Up here we have the word isolates, preoccupation. You want to use vocabulary, so just be aware of all of this. Okay? Good luck and happy writing.